Don't catch your hair on fire. Oh, how are you guys today? This is quite an exciting day with the potluck and the conference and the candles. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was treasure. What would you consider treasure? Everything you love. You went right to the heart. We're no fun. Exactly, everything you love. Have you ever been on a treasure hunt? Yeah? What kind of treasure hunt did you go on? Like that you got clues and you followed the clues? Yeah. Well, I went on a treasure hunt this past week. And I went on a treasure hunt in the church. And I found a couple of things. Have you seen anything different down here this morning? Something that wasn't ever here before? Look around. Okay, we're going to get up and go on a treasure hunt now since you can't see it. Oops, yikes. The flowers weren't here, but come this way with me. Let's see, there's more. You ever seen this before? Where? When did you see it? Yeah, you're just giving me a hard time today. Yeah, I went on a treasure hunt and I went upstairs and upstairs and up the scary stairs all the way to the top floor, the attic place where like there's yellow tape and nobody's supposed to go because it's so scary. And I found this. What do you think that is? A picture of? An angel maybe? Or a saint? Maybe. We're going to talk about what a saint is. Okay, let's go see. Is there anything else that's different? The other one. Yeah, there's another one over here. There were two of them up there, and they were all dusty, and I saw that they had a place for a light bulb, but there were no light bulbs, so I didn't even know if it worked, but they both lit up really cool. It's kind of neat. Here's another angel. Yeah, it's an angel. I see the wings. Yeah, you didn't see that before. So, yeah, it's an angel, but also sometimes I think of saints. And we're celebrating saints today. What do you think a saint is? Sometimes it's someone who's passed on. And is there anything special about them? We've talked a little bit about that. We've talked about in the church, the saints are those who've taught us about God and about Jesus and about how to live as good Christians. And sometimes they are the ones that died. But I think they might be more than that. And I think treasures are more than things like this. I'd like us to walk around this morning and see if we can find some more treasures in the church. You want to come with me and see if we can find a treasure? Okay? Yeah. I wasn't wearing that. Let's see if we can find a treasure. Let's see if we can find a treasure. I found one right here. I found a treasure. Do you know who that is? That's Ursie. Do you know why Ursie's a treasure? Ursie is the sole, lone, only United Methodist Women representative from Epworth. With one UMW lady, have a representative. But Ursie is so faithful to the United Methodist Women. She is faithful to see that we remember them and that the mission that the UMW do. And that's really a special treasure. And we thank you. Two treasures right here. Fran organizes fundraisers like nobody's business. She's a treasure. And Craig, yeah, well, he's old, and so that makes him a treasure. Craig plays the bass up here. Sometimes we don't see him because he's back there. He adds sometimes the rhythm that some of the rest of us don't have. So they're treasures, and we thank you. a treasure. This is a treasure who found us through the clinic and the ministry of our church, and even though he doesn't always get our language, he's a faithful member and presence in our congregation. And that's a treasure. So we thank you. Where's another treasure? Oh, whoops. Right, here's a treasure. Right, here's a treasure. And she doesn't like the fact that I've just recently called her the matriarch. But, you know, I speak truth, and you are what you are. Cheryl is one of the only remaining congregants who is actually baptized in this church and raised in this church. And she has remained a faithful servant all her life, serving in so many different capacities. Cheryl is a treasure, and for that, we thank you.
Taking care of things, and Frank's response is, all the time, not my job, because whenever there's anything I see that needs to be done on Sunday morning, I say, Frank, light the candles, please, Frank, we need coffee, Frank, they forgot communion, Frank, bring me a cup of coffee, and Frank just says, okay, and he smiles. And he goes, but it's not my job, just so you know. So Frank is a saint. Harold, I can't go down there because I got to stay on the camera. So come here, stand up just a little bit. Harold is a treasure. He's another one that serves almost so you don't know. He gets the lineup every Sunday morning. He takes care of the processional. He takes care of those who serve communion. He takes care of candles and little tiny details that I don't even consider. And he's here, and every time the door's open, he goes to Bible study and Sunday school, and he makes me come by. Harold is a treasure, and we thank you. I think you guys don't know this one. You know what this is? This is Mark Davies. Reverend Dr. Mark Davies. And besides being a dean, religion, Mark serves on the Conference Commission for Justice? Church and Society. And he fights for justice and peace and reconciliation. And he is one of the few who, when he gave his report to annual conference last year, he was brave and bold and wore a reconciling soul. Mark is a treasure of the church. And we thank you. I've got two here. You guys know who this guy is? No. This is Virgil. Virgil is a treasure. Virgil is down here almost every Saturday. There was a time when he was down here every Saturday morning, helping with the free medical clinic. He serves, he takes numbers, he does whatever is necessary so that people who don't have any insurance and can't afford to go to the doctor can see Dr. Shook downstairs. He is a faithful, faithful servant and teaches us about that. So Virgil is a treasure, and we thank you. Chris is a treasure. Did you know that? He's a pain, but he's also a treasure. My favorite pain. In fact, he's been instructed before you send an email to anyone, you must send it to me first, so that you get it all vented out, and then I can go through it. Then you can send it. But Chris one time or other. When he finishes one hall, he goes to the other, and when he's got to the top, he goes back down to the bottom. Chris is a trustee. He takes care of the building, and he works very, very hard to see that this building doesn't fall down around us, because he loves it. But even more than the building, he loves this congregation. So Chris is a treasure. This guy's a treasure. And he's got two cohorts that I was really hoping would be here with him today. But we've got Andy and Jack and Norm. And they each individually are treasures. They are at that door every Sunday. And I can't tell you how many people have said, I wasn't sure about coming in, and then I saw those three with their smiling faces and their hand outstretched, and I just knew I was going to be welcomed. These guys are treasures of the church, and for their work, we thank them. Becky's a treasure of the church, because she brings you guys. She has sung in the choir, and she supports us with her prayers and her presence. She is a treasure of the church. And for that, we thank you. At least today. Here's some treasures. Harold and Monica. Harold works on the building. He's like floor. He's done ceilings, floor to ceiling. He's done it all. Roofs, he's done. He plays the guitar and leads the band. He leads the chapel services every Wednesday, and that is where I can get fed. And it is such a blessing to me that there is a service I can go to with my faith family that I don't have to lead. For that and all the other things that you do, Harold, you are a treasure, and we thank you. Monica's a treasure. She takes care of the books. She takes care of keeping us connected to Reconciling Ministries. She spurs us on and has a faithful voice at all our meetings to help guide us. Monica is a treasure, and we thank you. Can't pass this guy. This is Garrett. And he's our music director, he plays the organ, but he does so many other things. Everything up there, Garrett has actually touched with his hands and put specifically where it goes. Week after week, season after season, he raises banners and lowers banners, he makes banners, he changes banners, he decorates the sanctuary to make it be just right for our worship. He is here and faithful, and he is another one that I can say, Garrett, do we have candles? Yeah. Do we have, what, air candles? Yeah, I want it. Lent is coming. Yeah, I got it. He's got it. I'm always a little behind, but he's got it. Garrett, for all these things, you are a treasure. Who's this? Talitha is a treasure. She has been on just about every committee there is. She has led the ad board. She is the one who keeps us on track for the picnic. She blows up that thing all by herself. That's here. She takes care of floats for pride parades. She hostesses funerals like nobody's business. She is great. Always willing to say, okay, Debbie. And even when I send somebody else to ask her to do something, she comes back. You were behind that, weren't you? Yeah, well, I thought somebody else should ask for this time, but yeah. Talitha, for all she gives to Epworth, for the love that she shows for the people, Talitha is a treasure. And we thank you. Now, this one's going to be mad at me because she doesn't like attention. But Debbie Lowe is a treasure. Debbie Lowe lights candles, fills candles, helps with communion, They started from nothing, a ministry of just, we got to give people water because it's hot. And it's grown and it's grown and it's grown. And through them, some people have found new homes and better lives because of the ministry that Mary and Lynn do. They are treasures. And for what they do, we thank you. You know this guy? You know this guy. This is Ray. Many of you don't know the things that Ray does. Ray's here every Saturday, organizing and setting up and opening and selling for the thrift store. $1 bag. $1 bag full. He sees that the people who come in on Saturday mornings can get the clothing they need, some of the miscellaneous for their houses that they need. Ray is in the kitchen, setting up and cleaning up almost every time it opens. He's here in the morning to help people in and out. Ray, you are a treasure, and for what you do, we thank you. Who are these guys? Jim and Elaine are treasures of the church. Elaine is that quiet, gentle presence that I can look at her and go, she has a patience and a kindness that infuses everything. Her gentleness to people, she sees someone who's in distress during worship and she will go to them, she'll put her hands on them, and she sits and listens. If you ever need someone to talk to, Elaine is there, before you even know it, listening. Elaine's presence and her ability to be present makes her a treasure. For Elaine, we thank you. And I can't even mention all the things that Jim does. Jim is, as a retired minister, he has done so much and touched so many lives. But for us, he is a strong, strong leader, a voice to help guide us and lead us on our way. He is patient with me as I fumble. He is a mentor and a friend, and for us, he is a treasure. Jim, for all you do, we thank you. You guys can go back to your seats. There are so many more that I could mention, and the truth be told, I could stop at every single place. And each one of you, Steve and Dorothy, Ed, Mark, Carl is in the office every day from 10 to 2 and Sundays 10 to 4, answering the phones, taking the messages, calling me and said, Debbie, did you forget you were meeting 25 students from OCU today? Keep them busy till I get there. From Edmund, Carl, for all of you that nobody ever sees, from the bulletins to the phones, from just keeping me grounded, you are a treasure, and I thank you. Trina thinks she's hidden back there, but she's not. Trina is an ordained elder with United Methodist Church on family leave, and she could go to any church she wants, yet she chooses to be here. And she doesn't just choose to be here, she chooses to be active here. From Vacation Bible School, from Trunk or Treat, to Thunder Games, and all kinds of things in between. Trina is that associate pastor that every pastor wishes they had and didn't have to pay. So the price is right. So Trina, you are a treasure, and we thank you. And all of you are saints, and all of you are treasures. And this is what makes my delight in serving this church, is the treasures that I find faithful in these pews. For that, I thank you. And now, you think there's still a sermon, but that was it. Yay! Let us go to a time of reflection and think about the saints, not only that we've lit candles for,
but the saints that are beside us in the pews, and the saints that are absent today, but we should call and ask to come back. Let us be in silent reflection for the saints in our lives.